All right, 10:44. We're back. It's the final segment of the show. Our thanks to Billy Davis for joining us as he does every Tuesday to talk a little football, a little life, and whatever else we can drag out of him. I'm not sure that our next guest can top a cowboy hat pajama party recruiting story that deals with the likes of Steve Fuller and Dwight Clark answering the door for a recruit, but and this juncture probably shouldn't even ask, considering.
Yeah, I'm out on that. That's I'm good. Let's move on to the next topic there.
This, of course, is Brett Harker, the baseball coach here at Furman. All the wonderful off-season stuff that's been going on is rapidly coming to an end, and actual season number 1, we're now less than a month away. And I know if I'm excited about it, which I am, you have to be just vibrating right now.
We are very, very excited. The off-season was good to us. We're ready to roll that momentum into February 17th. We have Dayton coming into town. For those of you guys out there, we'd love your support. Come on out. Hopefully the weather is as nice as it is today. That's not usually how the baseball gods treat us on opening weekend, but we'll pretend like it's going to be. But they're like any team from the north. They'll be inside most of the time, which means they're going to be very sound in their fundamentals. They're going to be able to go backside well. They'll be able to field the ball well. But we always think we have an advantage being outside and getting live reps. But it'll be a great challenge for us, and our boys are focused, and that's one of the big things that we're talking about this year. If we're going to be the team we think we're going to be, we got to be ready from game 1. And all 56 of them are important if we want to be the team that we think we can be and leave the legacy of the 2017 Furman Paladins that we think we can.
Well, I know that as we said, there's been a lot of excitement since the day you were named the head coach here, and just your enthusiasm and embracing this, and some of that excitement has bled over even into other areas where people, when they come to Latham Stadium, now they're going to see some upgrades and improvements that have been made to the stadium.
Yeah, it's we've had some generous donors. A lot of them don't even want to be named, which is incredible to me, the generosity. But there's a lot of things going on at Latham Stadium. I personally think that Latham Stadium, the backdrop and the setting, is one of the prettiest, if not in the Southeast, in the country. It just needs a little love, and we have some big things going on right now. We're actually finishing up a brand new Major League style turf home bullpen. It's going to give the fans a really unique perspective looking down from our porch, from a bird's eye view of our guys warming up. In March, we are putting in 900 brand new seat backs that'll cover the entire stadium. The old ones are coming out. And everywhere there's concrete, there'll be seat backs, which will give a completely different look to the stadium. Of course,
so that'll happen as the season's actually going on.
It is, yeah. We're hoping that construction will start on that when we actually leave for Ole Miss. So there may be construction during one weekend, but the install time seems to be pretty rapid. And then the new jumbotrons up, and just little stuff. The dugouts have been painted. They're just a little different stuff. A lot of graphics are going up in the indoor facility, and it's just, honestly, guys, it's all because of generous donors. It's people believing in the direction the program's going and the vision, and it's all about creating a brand. And it's just exciting. Anytime there's progress, I really like construction sites because that means there's progress.
Right. Exactly.
And does it help you win a ball game? No, but it helps build excitement and a brand, and all of that helps you get better kids. And as Bobby Bowden says, it's easy to be the best coach when you have the best players, and that's the whole name of this game.
So in effect, looking at it big picture, it does help you win a ball game.
It does. I gave the coaching cliche, it doesn't help you win a ball game, because that's what everybody tells me. But I'm going to be really honest with you. In the long run, it does. It just honestly does.
Because you're getting better players.
You're getting better players, and it's a lot easier to coach a 92 fastball with downhill sink than it is an 83 one flattened down the middle. It's a lot easier to be a good pitching coach, as well as a good head coach when guys are hitting the ball over the fence. So I just think, like anything in life, if there's excitement and the kids can buy into the investment in a program, you're just going to continue to get higher caliber players. All that being said, if you're not recruiting the right kids with the right mentality and the right work ethic, the talent doesn't matter. But I think we're doing a really good job of that as well.
Yeah, it's just been fun to watch the investment that's being made in this program, and with investment obviously come expectations.
Of course.
And I know you embrace that. You're walking into this your first season as a head coach, and the expectations already surrounding this program for this year are higher really than any of the previous 5 seasons that I've been here, because there's an expectation that you're going to have excellent pitching, and you're going to be able to catch it, and you've got some guys who can swing the bat. But it starts on the mound, and you tell me, pitching coach / head coach, the depth of this pitching staff potentially is going to be unlike maybe anybody else in the Southern Conference, and maybe unlike a lot of big conference teams.
Yeah, I mean, we're excited about the depth we have. Of course, I think that compared to the rest of the Southern Conference, I think that we have a leg up, but we'll see. All I can do is compare it to teams we've had in the past and other teams I've coached, and I just think that our bullpen and our potential for the number of starters we have is the highest it's ever been. That being said, all this doesn't really matter until we start playing, but the guys have the right mindset. If I thought all we did was have the right athletic ability, I would still be very concerned. I think our kids are mentally ready. They're very focused. They put in the work, and we're ready to have a successful season.
Visiting with Brett Harker, as our high-tech graphics people have pointed out. Practice starts Friday, and then we're 3 weeks away from the season opener. So you get to get back on the field and start going live with the full team again. But you've been able to do some things here individually, or not?
We have, yeah. So you're allowed 2 hours of skill work a week. So our guys have been throwing two bullpens a week, and the hitters have been getting their work in the cages and starting to work defensively. Really the biggest thing at this point is making sure your pitchers are building up their amount of pitches and innings to be ready to throw 5, 6, maybe even 7 if they're cruising along enough that first weekend. I'll tell you something we're fighting right now, and I think it's just a lot of people with this weather and different stuff going on. There's just the flu and the stomach bug has hit our team this week, and I think we're going to be the walking wounded here this weekend as practice opens. I had to call a lot of scouts yesterday and let them know there's a chance some of our big dogs won't be throwing this weekend just because of those viruses. But I tell you what, I'd rather face them in January than the middle of February. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise. I don't know. But it's like anything else. We're going to have ups and downs. And right now I feel like we're getting punched around a little bit with sickness and different stuff going on. But we're going to wake up every morning, and you're either bringing energy to that facility or you're a vampire and sucking it out. And I refuse to be the latter of them. And we instill that in our boys, that if you're going to be there, you better be bringing something to the table. So if you're sick and can't do that, then stay your butt at home.
It's easy to buy into something when you haven't played game 1 yet, or you're in the season and maybe you hit that first skid, and so they haven't had to go through that kind of adversity yet. But it still is rather remarkable from everything that I've been able to glean from what you've told me, what others have told me, what I've seen, the buy-in that you've gotten from this team to this point.
I 100% agree. I'll tell you this. All I do is brag about my team and how much I love them. Well, they make it very, very easy. I laugh. You love your kids no matter what, but my kid's just really, really sweet and kind and loving, and makes it a little bit easier. And it's the same thing with my team. They're a good bunch. They have a great work ethic. We got great leaders. I feel like they'd run through a brick wall, and that makes coaching just that much easier. Are we going to have adversities? Of course we're going to have adversities. The funny part about life is that when things are going good, people want to always try and tell you, well, what about when this happens? What about when that happens? Well, we'll deal with that when that gets there. But there's enough stuff in life that's tough that just when things are going well, just enjoy it. Yeah. It's okay to have fun in life and live with energy and live with passion. Of course there's going to be adversity. And of course we're going to go on, have a tough game or have a tough break somewhere here or there. But we're going to deal with it because we have strong character. We have the right kids. I've surrounded myself with a coaching staff that has the right morals and the right just core foundation. And that's just a recipe for something good. If you have all the recipe for a good soup and you throw in one little bad ingredient, it's probably not going to overtake it all. The rest of it's going to overtake the bad ingredient. And that's what I think we have going right here. And I just cannot stress enough, if you approach every day and every life with momentum and positive energy, good things are going to happen. And even when they don't, you can say that this is another opportunity to excel through a bad situation, instead of saying, woe is me, I got dealt a bad hand. Well, then bluff your way through that hand. Bluff your way through that hand with a pocket 2-3 in your hand.
Right, exactly. The flip side of that, though, is as the head coach now, you at least have to be prepared for such eventualities. Whereas maybe as an assistant coach, maybe it's the good cop, bad cop thing sometimes, that you get to play the good cop when something happens. When now when something happens, you got to be the bad cop, or you have to have the foresight to know when and if something happens, here's how we're going to deal with it. I mean, that's part of the job that maybe you haven't had to deal with before.
No, I agree. I think discernment goes a long way. And when the kids know, even in adversity, you're going to do the right thing, that goes a long way, And
the right thing's not always the easy thing.
It's not. And, Coach Smith is a huge mentor to me. And one of the big things he always tells me is when something big happens, sleep on it overnight and let the emotions calm down a little bit and give yourself some time to think about what you're going to do. And I've had great mentors over the years. The funny part is, yes, this is my first year of being a head coach, but gosh, I mean, all I've ever done is baseball. I've been surrounded by incredible mentors and leaders, and baseball, look, you're never making up any of your own stuff. You're constantly stealing stuff from people along the way. That's all we're doing as coaches. And I've been able to, quote unquote, steal from some of the best. I've had great mentors, and I have lifelines of people that I can call along the way. And I don't hear their answer machine, because they pick up and they're always there for me. And no, but you're right. I mean, it is a different role, of course. I'm in a bigger office, and it deals with bigger problems. But I'm just telling you, once again, you can either let things, I always hear, well, how's it going? Switching from the role, is it overwhelming? Yeah, there's stuff like that. I understand that. I'm dealing with it day to day. But I'm also, this is my dream job. It's an incredible situation. Let's roll, Yeah.
So I like it. All right, let's talk about the Upstate Diamond Classic.
Yeah.
Something else that you're dealing with in a different role for the first time. February the 8th, Tom Glavine, the Hall of Famer, is the headliner. He's going to be the guest speaker at the Hyatt Regency downtown.
Look at you. I like it.
So let's talk about, first of all, how's that been for you? Because all the other baseball stuff got going aside. Now you're out shilling tickets.
So slow start, not going to lie. It has really picked up. It's going to be a great event. We'll probably have 450 people there. The support has been incredible. So although we're not going to have 500, 600 people, we've had so many people. We offered to donate a table to help with my overhead on players and staff. We've had so many people help with stuff like that and donate, even if they weren't able to come. And the bottom line is, it's a fundraising event. Not only is it great, just program awareness for the community and stuff like that, and networking, but I mean, the bottom line is it helps with the funding of our operational budget, and our bottom line is going to be really good. So we're excited about that. We think it's going to be a great event. Christy Sherman, my administrative assistant, I don't know what I would ever do if she left, so she's been a huge help. But Leo Mazzoni will be there as well, which will be a nice little treat. We think it's going to be a really great night. If you haven't signed up, or we still have tickets available, if you go to our website, all the information is there. You can actually purchase your ticket online. You don't even have to send in a check anymore. But it's going to be a great event. We're really excited about it. What better way to spend your Wednesday night than dinner with Tom Glavine and hearing a Hall of Famer speak and share his testimony? Yeah,
that's got to be a big thrill for a lot of people. I mean, imagine from your kids who obviously I would imagine know quite a bit about Tom Glavine, to people here who have followed him from his career from the very beginning, especially the long term with the Atlanta Braves. So to have him in and get a chance to hear him speak, that's a pretty good get for you.
Yeah, I told my wife that if I would have told my 12-year-old self the conversations I've had the last 6 months, I wouldn't believe it. I was having dinner at Leo Mazzoni's house with our staff, and as you guys know, he's my special advisor, and while Tom Glavine's texted me, and I said, "What is going on play?" These are the people that I had posters of in my room growing up. These are the whole reason that I wanted to be a pitcher, and the whole reason I wore a Wilson A2000. These guys all wore them, and now but that's the way the Lord works, and we've been blessed, and it's going to be a huge night for our program.
I think there's one burning question on everybody's mind right now.
This is scary.
Does Leo Mazzoni rock in his chair at dinner?
He rocks in his chair at all times. Yeah. So in my office, our chairs actually have a little bit of a play to them, and he's just going to town over there. And I just, I don't let him know, but I kind of smirk as I see it happen. I say, well, I've seen that for a couple of years, But man, just picking his brain and hearing stories, and he's such a wealth of knowledge. But what's incredible is he does it in a humble way. Mm-hmm. He never makes you think. He never forces anything. He just throws out his opinion. He was watching one of my bullpens and heard something I said, and he came to me afterwards and said, Harker, I loved what you said there. Man, I learned a lot. And my initial reaction was he's messing with me. And he wasn't. He was being sincere. He really liked it. And I'm sitting there going, listen, you're the Chuck Norris of pitching, and you're telling me that. So and that's not to toot my horn by any means. That's just to show his humbleness, and like any good coach, he's never going to stop learning. And what a great asset to this program. If you're a stud pitcher out there, gosh, what a great another reason to be a Furman Paladin.
Fantastic. So events are starting to accelerate. As I said, practice starts on Friday, and before you know it, dinner, and then February the 17th. It's all going to be here before we know it.
Yeah, we're. I'll just, I'll reiterate. I think we're going to have a great team. I think that we're going to put out a product that's going to be fun to watch. We're going to do it with passion. Whether we win or lose, we're going to play hard. We're going to play it the right way. Our kids are a great example. If you want to bring little ones out, we not only have good players, we have great people and good role models. And if you're looking for a place to take your kid out to a ball game, I just think Latham Stadium's an affordable, great place. Come support us. I'll tell you, some of the big people in town may have bigger stadiums, but they're not going to appreciate your sport as much as the Paladins will.
Fantastic. You looking forward to 50-plus pregame interviews with some radio guy?
Man, that's the whole reason I took the job.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, are you kidding me?
Talk about blowing smoke.
I am pumped up about it, let me tell you.
I can't wait. It's going to be a fun season. Thank you for coming over.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Yeah,
anytime.
Well, just remember you said that.
I know.
Because it's being recorded.
I love it.
That's Brett Harker. And we're done. Thank you for your attention today. Thanks for Billy Davis joining us. We will see you again tomorrow. Dave Glenn of the ACCSports.com website and the David Glenn Show to take us all around the Atlantic Coast Conference. He'll be our featured guest tomorrow. Until then, for Brett, I'm Dan Scott. God bless you, and so long, everybody.